With their backs against the wall and looking completely lifeless through all of Game 1, the Philadelphia Phillies came alive in Game 2. Riding the back of Nick Castellanos, who hit his 5th walk-off of the season, his first of the postseason, this team has evened the series 1-1. Me and Luke Arcaini are going to break down our top takeaways of this awesome series. The one is absolutely shaping up to be the best in the playoffs. But Luke, after that thrilling victory, in which, of course, in walk-off fashion, where the bats came alive, produced a comeback win, your number one takeaway is what?
Yeah, I mean the bats did what we asked them to do.
Finally.
Yeah, I mean we talked all day on Saturday and Sunday before yesterday about just the middle of the order, and they have to produce. And they benched Alec Bohm, and then you go from I believe Turner, and I believe it was like him through seven other than Bryce were like basically hitless, and it's wow multi-hit game for Turner, 3 hits for Castellanos, multi-hit game for Stott, including that bases clearing triple.
Yep.
Just massive hits yesterday. And I would say obviously the player of the game, I would probably say Nick Castellanos. Just an awesome game. The homer, the stare down of the dugout after he tied it up, and then obviously his 5th walk off of the year, like you said. Just an awesome game from Castellanos yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's start right there with the story of the day. To start with, very cool how things shake out. An all-time Philly moment with him muttering after the sarcastic cheer. The context here being that Casty hacking away at 2 clear pitches out of the zone to start an at-bat, then takes on the third that was absolutely a ball, get a little sarcastic cheer from the crowd, and mutters a little "these effing people" under his breath, which the cameras picked up quite clearly. Then flash forward to his next 2 at-bats. He's going back-to-back with Bryce Harper and then hitting an absolute walk-off here, making a beeline directly to his son Liam, who of course runs Citizens Bank Park these days. And Harper was specifically asked about this after the game, or asked about kind of his mindset with this team, and he said, quote, "Understanding that passing the baton is huge in the postseason. Understanding that the guys behind you need to do their job too. You saw it tonight with Casty." It does feel like Castellanos is kind of becoming one of the, well, I mean, obviously the clutch guy on the team with all the 5 walk-offs here. I thought it was really cool kind of how things played out for this specific game. I think that's a pretty clear microcosm of the Nick Castellanos experience. And to be perfectly honest, I think this guy's just been straight up better than people have given him credit for this year. So very thrilled that he was the guy to step to center stage there.
Yeah, I mean he's had a really good year.
Yeah.
He's been extremely consistent. And it's funny because if you kind of look at the stats from this year to last year, it wouldn't tell you that he did. But his season this year has just been way more consistent at the plate.
Yeah.
He's swinging way better through the ball. Everything is just it feels a lot smoother for Castellanos. He looks more comfortable. And especially yesterday. I mean, that was all frustrating at bats. I think we know what we're going to get from Castellanos a lot,
Yeah.
but the guy's going to give you some really clutch at bats at the same time too. That's really always been him. So I think it was a great, just an awesome game for him, and I think one that he needed,
Yeah.
but also the team needed.
Yep, 100% there. And you did mention in your first answer about kind of the shakeup in the lineup. Alec Bohm being benched there. He did come in and pinch hit later and finish off this game. I'm curious your thoughts on this, Luke, for 2 reasons. For starters, it kind of surprised me to see. I saw a lot of negative pushback or concern over this. Bohm was terrific to start this year. He was 2 for his last 31 in this situation. And for me personally, I think my biggest frustration with Rob Thomson these past 2 postseasons was the lack of making moves or tinkering with the lineup or trying new things. So I thought it was kind of a breath of fresh air to see him shake things up a little bit. I personally thought it was going to be Bryson Stott, but I'm very glad that is not the case after his bases clearing triple, as you mentioned. But what were your thoughts on kind of the lineup shakeup and for Bohm being the guy that did sit down there?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I think they needed to try something.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people complained about the bad at bats and just non-competitive offense, and then they bench the guy who's 3 for his last 31, and everyone's mad that he's on the bench. So I liked the move. I think Bohm needed a break.
Yeah.
He's been like abysmal recently. The Sosa thing didn't really work out, but I mean, you won the game, so it really doesn't matter.
There was
I
tough.
thought Sosa had a few good at bats. I didn't think he obviously didn't really have a hit, but I thought the at bats looked pretty good. I would say they were more competitive than Bohm's on Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the move itself probably didn't work out, but I liked getting Bohm a day off because I think he just really needed it. He's been really bad at the plate.
Yeah, absolutely there. And there's two more key points that I do want to hit on you. One good and one bad. And I'm going to start with the good here. Bryce Harper, man. We truly can't
Yeah.
overstate what a just feel for the moment this guy has, the flair for the spectacular, the showman that he is. In the postseason as a whole, just ridiculous production here, hitting 327 with 12 home runs. Just the dude is a legend. He's off the charts, and he's been the guy stepping to center stage. So yesterday's game, it really felt like one of those that it's clear the Mets want to avoid. Basically tried to take him out of this series. There was kind of an interesting piece about it as yesterday's game started, kind of making the reference of calling this game a chessboard and that Bryce Harper being the piece that they want to take away. He basically got one pitch to hit yesterday, and he hit it into the bleachers on a massive home run for this team here. Just talk to me a little bit more about what Bryce is doing for this team and put into context how special this is, Luke.
Yeah, I mean he's just a special player.
Yeah.
When this team goes, Harper goes. That's what I've said forever. But it's he's just a really, really special player. He's a special athlete. He's looked unbelievable at first base,
Yeah.
which has been something a really awesome development. Like just so good at first base these first two games. He had some awesome plays yesterday. A Gold Glove finalist already in his first year at first base. Just it's been a really you couldn't have asked for a better start to Bryce Harper's career with the Phillies. And I know it started 7 years ago, but as far as the front half of his Phillies career, you can't really ask for much more. I mean, the dude's unbelievable. He hit 349 in the playoffs in 2022. He had 1,000 OPS over that in 2023. Like every playoffs he's had with us, he's had an OPS almost at 1,100. It's just like the dude just freaking rakes when the moment matters.
Yep.
And he finally got a pitch to hit yesterday, and he got all of it. So just a big jolt in that start yesterday for the comeback, and just an unbelievable baseball player.
Yeah, 100% there. And also a quick shout out for Christopher Sanchez for taking care of business on the mound. There was a little bit of
Yeah,
concern.
I don't want him to go unknown from yesterday. Everything's going to be offense, and I thought Sanchez looked really, really good yesterday.
Yep. He looked like himself, which is really all we could ask for. Gave the team a chance. Now, my last point that I did want to hit on the negative side of things, Luke, I talked a lot about my belief in this Phillies bullpen and why I thought that was a differentiating factor for this year. Matt Strahm, that's now 2 consecutive games in which he's been hit around by this Mets team. I have not as much confidence after 2 games in this series with how the pen is looking, and I have a little bit of kind of, I guess, I don't know what you do from a standpoint from Thomson because these have been your money guys that got you here. Obviously, the Mets have something up their sleeves with this late inning magic that they have. But heading to New York now, what's your level of confidence with both this Phillies team and this bullpen specifically? Is now we got to step into enemy territory.
Yeah, I feel good about game three.
Okay.
I think this is kind of the reason why I wanted Nola to throw three, because now you can kind of go to Citi Field. You have Aaron Nola out there. Um, as far as the bullpen, it stinks, but it's reality. You're still gonna have to just put them out there. Like it's gonna be one of those things that they're gonna have to just work through it, and you're gonna have to hope it works because you can't throw like Jose Ruiz into a one-run ninth inning game.
Who also
It's
gave up
so
a run
like
yesterday.
yeah, like it's gonna just come to a point where it's gonna suck, but you're gonna have to just put him out there and just hope he figures it out. I will say I liked what I saw yesterday from Estevez. You still haven't seen Jose Alvarado yet,
True.
so those are two guys that could definitely throw in New York. I thought Hoffman had a good outing yesterday. He only threw 3 pitches, but I thought he looked really good. Those will probably be your guys maybe in New York. I would assume maybe they would give Strom a day off, or if they see maybe a not low leverage, but a lower inning type of situation, maybe to get him back into things on Tuesday. But yeah, not as confident as I was 2 weeks ago in the bullpen, but I
Yeah.
still think they have something there.
Yeah, let's hope that's the case because, as you mentioned, things are powering on one way or another here. But I guess the biggest takeaway here is the Phillies have life. We're not up here having a funeral script down 0-2 in the series as it heads to New York. This is shaping up to be one of the better baseball series that I've seen in my entire lifetime. Awesome start through the first two games. Luke Arcaini, any adjustments to the prediction before we officially hand things over to New York?
Phillies in 4.
Love it. Love it. Love
Phillies
it.
in
So
4.
we'll see how things shake out from there. Nola on the hump on Tuesday when things get back underway. But shout out to Nick Castellanos for giving this Phillies team life. Shout out to Citizens Bank Park for coming alive in a really cool sporting atmosphere yesterday. And shout out to you guys for tuning in to this video here. So if you have not subscribed to the channel just yet, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button. Drop it a like on this video, any comments you have below. And me and Luke will be talking with you next time right here on Phillies Digest. Peace.